part man, part sheep. He is usually seen at dawn or dusk. Quiet, elusive, he slips silently through the brush, feeding on grass or berries and examining the world around him. For a long time, he was just a rumor, a legend few chose to believe in. But then in the summer of 1987, these remarkable pictures were taken. Could a creature like Sheepman exist?
He is reported to be 6 feet tall, with the body of a man and the head of a goat or a sheep. Until recently, many doubted his existence. But now, startling new evidence has turned up, which raises the question, could a creature like Sheepman exist? And if so, how could such a being remain hidden for so long?
The Standard Oil wasteland is a known home for coyotes, raccoons, and other wild animals. Vast, untamed, it was only visited by the occasional oil man and teenagers looking for excitement. There, mysterious footprints were discovered in the soft mud deep in the forest by two kids playing.
Sir, here!
At first dismissed as a prank, the footprints were quickly forgotten. Could they have been the footprints of the Sheepman? Yes, says Rudolph Dolgen, author of the book Baba Sheepman, and who has been following the Sheepman legend for 4 years. Dolgen was one of the first people to ever see the Sheepman.
Well, I guess the whole thing started for me about 4 years ago. I was walking alone on the railroad tracks when I saw something run across. Thinking it was just one of the neighborhood kids trying to scare me, I logged a rock at the last place where I saw it run. I must have hit it, for I heard sheep's bleating echoing through the woods.
Others too have heard the mysterious sheep's bleating. Opal Winfrey, a local resident who resides by the Standard Oil backlot, remembers hearing his calls.
Yeah, and I remember him screaming and hollering and raising a ruckus. First, I thought it was them coons trying to get into the hen house, so I grabbed my gun. I called the gut ripper because when it hits someone, it rips all the guts out of them. So I went down to the hen house and shazam! I heard that scream again, and that wasn't no coon. It was that goat guy.
The footprints, the screams. Is Sheepman real, as Rudolph Dolgen claims? Or is it just a hoax perpetuated by some mischievous teenagers? S.J. Trog, an unemployed Edmonds resident, recalls his encounter with the Sheepman.
I saw the Sheepman.
However, Pat Gently, professor of horticulture at Seachuck Community College, disbelieves the claims made about the creature.
Bull, there's no such thing as a sheepman. Those footprints are caused by coyotes or little kids playing in the woods. And the screams that woman heard, come on, there's a lot of pipes up in their refinery. One's cracked, you got some condensation or something coming out of there. The gas and the oil and all that stuff mixing together, it's all very scientific.
Is Sheepman a legitimate phenomenon? Or just a series of unusual events with logical explanations? For Heather Lee Drummond, however, there is no logical explanation to describe the events which took place on December 14, 1987. The Drummond residence, large, remote, far away from town, and situated near the Union Oil docks. That night, Heather was home alone reading a book when she heard a noise outside. Heather recalls.
Well, I was just sitting there when I heard a noise outside. At first, I thought it was my pit bull, Oscar.
Ignoring the strange sound, she went back to reading her book. Suddenly, a large woolly hand reached through the window and grabbed her. Reacting in shock and surprise, she quickly broke its grasp.
Well, I think the worst thing was when he touched me. I could feel the coldness of his hoof and the stench of his wet wool. And that's the last thing that I recall.
Disoriented and numb, Heather crawled across the empty living room floor to the phone, where she immediately called the police. Sheriff Peter Budkins answered the call.
I received a telephone call at approximately 11:45 p.m. to see the woman at 643 Ivy Lane.
Hi, are we on TV or
Shut up! I arrived at the scene at about 12:15, and I saw something in the headlights of my car. But instead of pursuing, I walked through the door and entered the household.
And then there was this knock at the door. And I guess that's what snapped me out of it.
Upon entering the residence, I found Mrs. Drummond lying on the living room floor. She seemed a bit dazed. Damn Sheepman. All right.
The next day, a search party composed mainly of members from the National Rifle Association was organized to track down the Sheepman.
Let's see what you got.
All right.
Hand it out. Oh, wow. Okay, good.
There you go.
Very good. What you got?
All right.
All right. Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one for you.
All right, one more time. What are we gonna do when we catch him? No! You can't kill him. I want to question him.
Oh, man.
What?
But couldn't we just rough him up a little bit?
Yeah. Come on.
Oh, shoot, why not? But not too much, you understand?
Later, traces of footprints, wool, and droppings were found. The samples were quickly rushed to the Applied Forensics Laboratory in Redmond, where they underwent testing. Dr. Raymond Van Gates, head of the laboratory, presented the findings.
Looking closely at the DNA structure molecule, we were able to determine that this hair definitely came from an animal in the sheep family. And that this particular animal was 6 feet tall and weighed 1,600 kilos, that's 220 pounds. This was, how do you say it, one big mother.
With so many reports of the Sheepman circulating, it may seem amazing that nobody has taken a picture. But the truth is, somebody has. Ernie Byright, an amateur photographer, explains.
Well, I had just gotten this new camera. It's a Sears 35mm XL, and it has autofocus, auto rewind, and it can be adapted to fit a macro zoom lens of any kind. Well, anyway, I had just gotten it. I really wanted to try it out, and so I was on my deck and I was cleaning it, and then I looked up, and I saw this thing. And I figured that something like this might be really important, so I got up and I took the pictures.
The pictures indeed proved to be startling. When examined close up, they seem to show a man with a sheep's head. Examined by experts, opinions vary. Jill Thick, a photographic expert for the National Examiner, gives her opinion.
You can see his head and you can see his legs, and it looks like you can make out his face a little bit.
Yeah, these are definitely real. There's no doubt about it.
But they are conflicting opinions. Egon Wiffle, professor of the photographic sciences at the cinema department at the University of Washington, disagrees.
No. There's definitely something here. While it could be a sheepman, it could also be a wolf. Or even an elmy. Or a penguin, for all I know. Well, I put it through careful spectral analysis. blown it up 300 times. I've isolated, digitized the object, and examined it on the computer. And the truth of the matter is, gentlemen, this photograph doesn't show jack shit.
Unknown, unrecognized, and even alone, the Sheepman still continues to elude explanation. He roams the plains behind Standard Oil, still an enigma.
A mythical creature that exists in our imagination, or a true phenomenon of nature? The answer to that question we may never know.
Uno, dos, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey! Pull it! Watch it now, watch it! Here it comes, here it comes! Watch it now, he gets you! Hattie told Hattie about a thing she saw. I do big horn and a woolly dog, woolly bully, woolly bully, yeah, drive, woolly bully, woolly bully, woolly bully. Hattie told Mattie, let don't take no chance. Let that be L7. Come and learn to dance. Bully, bully. Bully, bully. Bully, bully. Bully, bully. Bully, bully. Watch it now, watch it.